Today, we are in Visakhapatnam to see a US Navy ship in active operation.
We are ultimately trained to conduct air, land, and sea operations.
For an opportunity like this, I'm very happy to be here and experience your culture.
We are going to be able to wear some of their equipment as well. I am more excited in holding some of their machine guns. I think this has to be the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah. This is one of the most underrated cities of India with a coastline of approximately 50 kilometers and so many beaches. Like, imagine being in one of the biggest port cities but still having access to so much nature with the hills right next to you, because we are nestled amongst the Eastern Ghats right now. And if you haven't guessed yet, I am talking about the city of destiny, Visakhapatnam. But the purpose of this trip is not just making a video about Visakhapatnam or taking you around. I have been invited by the US Embassy to witness the interiors of two Navy ships of the US Navy, and also because I am from a defense background. My father was in the army when I was growing up. It feels like such an honor and privilege to see a part of defense which is from the US side. Currently, two US Navy ships are docked here in Vizag for a tri-service exercise between the Indian Armed Forces and the US Navy called Tiger Triumph. This exercise prepares the forces to cooperate effectively in humanitarian and disaster relief. And how does it benefit the countries that you're engaging in?
Some of the exercises that we're going to be operating here for Tiger Triumph is going to be demonstrations of amphibious operations, namely a focus towards humanitarian aid and disaster relief. So the ideal there is if there were some form of disaster in a local region, say like what has happened recently, unfortunately, in Myanmar, then your country, our country can respond in a combined joint way to be able to use our forces interoperably and communications that we've already established. Our Navy and our Marine Corps, that's going to be your forces as well, being able to support, relieve suffering from those who might be in need at the time of crisis.
This is the first ship that we're going inside, and it's the USS Comstock.
Get ready to go aboard your first ever US Navy ship, where the men and women of USS Comstock and the Marine Corps' Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion will show you all of their cool stuff.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
We are now inside the ship, and I wonder how it must be to sail on waters or in the open sea and come all the way from the US to India. The USS Comstock is a very large ship which acts like a launchpad for land missions. It is mainly used to carry the Marines, their vehicles and equipment to places where they're needed. For example, war or search and rescue operations. It is a dock landing ship and uses other landing crafts for transportation from the ship to the beach. Also, they've got ribs and cranes.
We have the 60-ton crane and the 20-ton crane. So we can pick anything that we need from the pier up to the boat deck, and from the boat deck down to the well deck.
The first place that we arrived at was the boat deck. It's the place from where the ship's lifeboats are launched from. And then we also went to the flight deck where we met the Marines and the commander of the ship.
I am the commander of the landing force. So for us as a Marine Corps, we are ultimately trained to conduct air, land, and sea operations. For this exercise, we're focused on that humanitarian assistance, right? It's always so important for us to have a security force and to have a humanitarian assistance force.
It's so cool what they do. And of course, when you're in a place like this, oh wow, you are allowed to be very excited. And we are interviewing a lot of people from the US Navy today. So with us, we had the commanding officer of this vessel, Commander Byron Starks. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
A very silly question to begin with. What was the route that you took to come here?
The route that we took to come here. So our most recent port of call prior to that was Singapore. So we came through the Straits of Malacca and up and approached from the south and came right in here through your wonderful harbor.
And what was the roughest part of the entire route?
I would say the Straits of Malacca, just due to the high amounts of traffic. Now, we're professional mariners, so we know how to handle that, but you certainly have to be focused and well aware of your surroundings.
And is this your first time in Visakhapatnam, or have you been here before?
It's my first time, and I'm actually deeply enjoying it. I feel very privileged to be a part of this exercise. I don't know that I would have been able to see this part of the world if it weren't for the Navy and if it weren't for an opportunity like this. I'm very happy to be here and experience your culture.
Thank you so much for saying that. But what are some of the exercises that you're engaging in right now? Is it just land operations? Is it also water operations?
Multiple. So land, sea, and air. Where we're standing right now is on top of our flight deck. From here, we can launch our helo craft. We can use them as a lily pad, we will call it, where some helo craft from other vessels might be able to land on board us. And that's other nations' vessels, to include your own, we can refuel them, and then they can go ashore with different packages of aid and relief. This ship, 3/4 of this ship, the length of the ship, is well deck, which allows us to store a tremendous amount of good and aids, think food, think supplies, think medical equipment, that we could then send ashore on some of our shore craft.
What is the distribution? Male versus female, or marine, or sailors?
About 350 sailors on board, about 450 Marines on board. That's the capacity for us overall. About 40 of those are officers right now. About 25 of those are chief petty officers on the Navy side. So that difference is made up with our junior sailors who do the vast majority of the work on board this ship. It varies somewhere between 1/10 and 1/7 or 1/6 of the crew being female on board. But at the end of the day, what matters most is that everybody on board is capable, ready, has the merit and the strength to be able to execute that mission, which we have that in spades. We're good.
What is this vessel?
This is a MH-60R, the MH-60 Romeo. It's a Navy helicopter. We have two types. We have the Romeo and the Sierra.
We're now on the well deck. This is such a big ship, and to be able to experience this. So the well deck is like a giant hollow space in the back of the ship that can fill up with water. In layman's terms, it's like a garage but for boats. So basically, this big mama ship carries baby boats in her belly, launches them into action, and brings them back in when needed. So it's crucial for amphibious operations, helping military forces go from sea to land and vice versa. So now we're in this area where the 1st Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion is going to show us some of their equipment, and I am more excited in holding some of their machine guns and their equipment and probably trying it on as well. Let's do it. Why is it that you operate in pairs when you're operating this?
So that's a great question. We operate in pairs. So we have one gunner and one assistant gunner. So the role of the gunner is that he operates the weapon system, and he's actually going to take that shot at whatever target we may have. And the assistant gunner, he loads the weapon system. He checks the back blast, makes sure no one's standing behind it. But he also provides security. So if any threats come up, right here is going to go in your shoulder.
Okay.
Right there.
Right here or behind?
Right, yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. And this hand's going to come. There you go.
So this first one, like you guys just saw, is the Carl G demonstration. This is kind of our long-range anti-armor explosive weapon. Over here, this is going to be the 240 Bravo. This is a pretty typical security weapon, but this is our typical American medium machine gun. The tan one right there, that is going to be the M27. Blonde gentleman holding, that's going to be our M4.
Alright, so like this? Wow, it's kind of heavy. I can't believe these are actual magazines. And this thing is heavy. Yes. Thank you. Are these magazines?
Yes.
Oh.
Here, take that on, put it to there.
Okay.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Oh, you're ready to fight.
Wow. I think this has to be the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah. This has to be the weirdest thing I've ever done. I'm wearing a literal summer dress in the nice summer day in Visakhapatnam, and I'm trying on gear, and I'm inside a US Navy ship. The whole defense DNA that I have from my father is just coming back to me. I just feel really alive right now. So now we're at the medical spaces. This is where medical treatments usually take place on the ship. So it's kind of like the hospital of this area. Okay. So interesting to just be inside. Imagine spending a month and a half just being in this ship. And then we made our way to the command deck or the pilot house.
I'm the navigator. I'm Lieutenant Jennings. My job is to safely navigate a ship, make sure we don't hit anything that we shouldn't, and that we can safely navigate within the channel, and that we're where we should be on time.
I navigate also. We use many nav tools and systems.
This gives me, for at least a brief moment, the feeling that we're actually navigating, although I'm sure that requires years and years of practice and training.
Good morning. My name is Lieutenant June Grade Sean Brennan. I'm the Assistant First Lieutenant on board the ship. So right here we have our remote control stations for our 25 millimeter guns on our ship, but mostly meant for small craft or hostiles coming. On our forward part of our ship, we have our RAM, our rolling airframe missile launchers. Those are only fired in our combat information center, and we utilize our fire controlmen who are in combat to engage those.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you
you
so much for having us.
It's been a privilege. Thank you.
Marilyn Monroe moment हो रहा है मेरे साथ. So now we are going to go inside the destroyer. This is the second ship that we're touring today, but this one is going to be super interesting because it's a different capability altogether from the USS Comstock.
So now we're going to go on to your second ever U.S. Navy ship, which is an Arleigh Burke class guided missile destroyer.
How is it different from the one that we just visited?
This is a little bit smaller and it's a little bit more agile. This ship is a standalone unit. There are no embarked Marine units on board. It is a guided missile ship, so it is good for the defense of a carrier strike group. It's good for independent missions. It's deployable worldwide.
Okay, I'm ready for my second ship.
Great.
Let's go. This is the destroyer, and its main job is to protect larger ships from threats in the air, on the surface, and underwater, including enemy submarines, missiles, and aircrafts. These destroyers can detect and respond to multiple threats at once. And the first person we met is the captain of this ship. Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, exactly. Captain Jack is what they call me, yes.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
That's the nickname.
So right now we're with Commanding Officer Jack Caesar aboard the USS Ralph Johnson. Sir, it's a pleasure to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here and happy to have you on board.
How would you say that this operation is shaping up right now?
It's been amazing since we arrived here. We've had a bunch of sporting events. Just today we wrapped up baseball. Tomorrow we have T20 cricket that we're really excited to participate in. No holds bar with the interaction and the jointness between the U.S. Navy and the Indian Navy. Ralph Johnson will be responsible for a air defense exercise. We're going to do a gun X, so we're going to shoot all of our weapon systems with the INS Mumbai. So really excited for that. And then we're going to also do some helicopter exchanges where all the different helicopters are going to land on board Ralph Johnson as well as Mumbai and Jaswala as well.
Amazing. So right now we have BM2 White with us, and what I noticed is that she already has some henna on her hands. So she got mehendi from probably the markets.
CMR Central Mall, but it's definitely beautiful. I love the designs, very intricate.
It's going really well with your tattoo as well.
Oh, thank you.
It looks beautiful. I got some mehendi a few days back for my cousin's wedding, so we have like a nice moment.
Yes, we do.
Mine is fading already though. And I'm glad you're already immersing in the Visakhapatnam experience.
Oh yes, I am. I absolutely am loving it here right now. Food is amazing. People are really nice and sweet.
The first place that we went on board is the front deck. That's a nice deck where we also saw some of the ship's armament and met someone of Indian origin who is now a Navy personnel.
My name is O.S. Patel. Yes, I've been in US for 11 years now. So coming back to India has been really awesome.
Do you share some of your cultural nuances with the crew on board?
I gave them really quick brief of what to look for. Try and go to Varad Lakshmi Narasimha temple. And that's one of the things that I really wanted to do. It gives me an opportunity to share the love and culture of India and show them what we stand for.
So what is it like working with the Indian Navy? What has your experience been like so far?
The experiences I've had interacting with the Shakti, the Mumbai, and the Jaswala COs has been bar none. They're much more senior than me, so anytime I get an opportunity to speak with them and listen to their experiences is only going to help me further in my goals to advance in the U.S. Navy. The ships look immaculate. We've had the Mumbai sailors on board, and the feedback that I've gotten from my crew has been nothing but
Interpretations of nearly the same ingredients. Like there's tomato chaat in Varanasi, there's tomato slice here in Vizag. It's one of the representations of how we are so similar yet so different in different parts of India. So we are now at a restaurant called Visakhapatnam for dinner, and this has been appreciated even by the Vice President Sri Venkaiah Naidu. And the one thing that I really want to try over here is the millet idli. And they come in a very unique kind of a shape, which is a little different from your regular idlis. No ghee, no? Wow. Look at how ingenious this idli is, because it is made inside of this patta. This patta is also so fragrant, so soft. I am completely ready to dig in right now. Oh my goodness, delicious. भाई मैं तो पूरा खा जाऊंगी ये 4 की 4 इडली after eating that tomato slice. Yummy. So because we're at Beach Road, from this restaurant you can also see the Victory at Sea Memorial, which was constructed after the 1971 Indo-Pak War, and it's dedicated to the Indian Navy. Every week there's also a light and sound show which happens over here, which is a spectacle, but it's such a good place to pay your homage to the Indian Navy. So we are currently with Sudhir sir, who's the maker of Vasinapoli. आपको इसका idea कैसे आया है इतना अच्छा खाना बनाने का?
Actually, inspiration मिली थी ट्राइबल फार्मर्स से. और को मैंने वर्क किया था with tribal farmers 8 साल. मेरा education all are things only in Guntur, not in Vizag. So in Guntur there is no pahads, there is no hills or nothing. But I'm completing my MA Agriculture Economics. Then I want to go to some rural area. I want to learn the sustainable agriculture and natural farming. Every day I want to go with farmers, climb the hill and also do some farming. I don't know. The climbing is very big task for me. That's the main reason. Every day they cook the foxtail, little millet, barnyard millet, only for me. It is after eating of 10 days, I recognize that I got some strength.
So you could see the difference in your body almost instantaneously in just 10 days.
Yes. That's the main reason I want to start this idea. In other markets, the ragi idli means little bit darker. Hamara ragi idli na serious very dark color na, because of we use only tur dal and ragi suji. We make ragi finger millet into suji. Then our idlis are taste like and also texture like the normal idli. We don't add any soda or preservatives, nothing. Our customers also very they are giving more hands to rise up to here. Because in 2018, I start with a small rickshaw, so around 50,000 budget. Now I am paying only every month 85,000 for this, 85,000 rent every month. That's the support from our farmers and also from our customers also.
So inspiring. Your story, I'm sure, is inspiring a lot of young people already. But I hope people who also watch this, they get more inspired by you. And the food is very good, very must try. Good morning from another day in Visakhapatnam. आज मेरे पास एक half day बचा है before I fly out. So we decided to come to the viewpoint here, and viewpoint से जैसे नीचे उतरो ना जहाँ पे I love Vizag लिखा है, there's this really nice and serene beach with a lot of rocks also in between. आज मैंने सूट भी पहना है because this morning we are also going to Sri Varahalakshmi Narasimha Swami Temple. Another thing about this beach is that there's also this ship nearby which has run aground. It's originally a 3,000-ton Bangladeshi vessel which is called the MVV Ma. But you can actually spot this from the beach only, या फिर go near the shipwreck as well. And finally, to end our trip to Visakhapatnam, हम लोग finally दर्शन करने भी आ चुके हैं. Especially on the weekends, यहाँ पे काफी rush होता है. But there's also an express ticket which costs around 300 rupees, which you can take. But weekends especially keep more time on your hands because it can take upwards of 1 hour to do your darshan. Inside, there are no cameras and phones allowed. Everything has to be deposited in a locker. So I can't take you inside for good reasons, obviously. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and the entire experience of Visakhapatnam for me was extremely nice, and the cherry on top of the cake was the visit to the US Navy ships. I am so grateful for this opportunity, and thank you so much for joining in. Subscribe to our channel, like this video, and I'll